Merkel. Germany has not done enough to hit Paris climate targets.
Here's a summary of the article.
Angela Merkel has conceded Germany's record on reducing carbon emissions was not sufficient to meet the global warming targets of the Paris Climate Agreement, as the Chancellor reflected on the achievements and missed opportunities of her 16-year leadership. Speaking at the last of her annual summer press conferences on Thursday before stepping down as leader of Europe's largest economy after federal elections on 26 September, Merkel said Germany has done a lot to recalibrate its economy in the face of the climate crisis, increasing the share of renewables in its energy mix from 10% to 40%, and lowering carbon emission by 20% in the period from 1990 to 2010, and by another 20% in the 10 years since. While Germany alone could not change the world climate, she argued, the manner in which we do it can set an example that others follow. The issue of the climate emergency has returned to the top of the political agenda after record rainfall and flash floods last week devastated large parts of western Germany, killing at least 179 people and leaving transport and energy infrastructure in parts of Rhineland-Palatinate and North Rhine-Westphalia in disarray. Germany's National Weather Service said on Thursday that regions hit by the floods last week could receive more heavy rain at the weekend. Merkel said the effort to rebuild houses, railways and energy lines in the flooded region would be a monumental undertaking that would require her efforts, until the last day, of her chancellorship. At the start of the wide-ranging 1.5-hour press conference, Merkel also expressed her concern about the worrying dynamic of the COVID-19 pandemic in Germany, saying the Delta variant was driving another wave of exponential growth, despite 60% of the German population having received at least one shot of vaccine.
This post received a score of 44,000, with an upvote ratio of 89%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
So are you going to do anything now? CDU? No.
No. Now is the time where they're gonna say, look, we got an elaborate plan how we get to zero emission by 2030, which will get swept under the rug after they win another election.
Or you openly say, you don't change politics because of one day like that, rough translation, and then laugh in the background of a press conference.
Merkel. We're really trying find the guy who did this.
The OJ strategy. Merkel gonna release a book detailing how Germany would have reached the goal if she were in charge.
I wonder who was in charge in the last decade. If only we could do anything for it. You know what, you can vote for us now.
Fuck that, my vote is with the People's Front of Judea.
Well, who was in charge and could have done enough? Let me think. Edit. I haven't read the article carefully enough. I didn't got the point that she admitted her insufficient actions. But while that counts in her favor, still she was the Chancellor of the EU member with the highest economical power. She was the one who could have led the EU in the direction to slow down, prevent the climate crisis. So it just doesn't make up for the mistakes.
She was only in charge for 22% of the country's existence.
She also was the environmental secretary for a few years in the 90s. So she was responsible for an even longer period.
Also head of the CDU, one of the two largest parties back then, from 2000 to 2018, and general secretary from 1998 to 2000.
FFS. You fucking led this country the last 16 years. Maybe it has something to do with your aggressively passive and reactive style of governance?
CDU, it is as Lord Merkel predicted. Long has she foreseen this doom. Scientists, foreseen and done nothing.
Excellent reference.
For 16 years she has led this country. Germany has a higher per capita emission value than China. I really can't put my finger on the person that could have done more. Was it Adenauer? Kohl? Maybe it was Schulz. Who knows? It definitely wasn't Merkel. For 16 years Mutti should have done a bit more than just killing the solar industry and going to coal power plants.
Greater than for 16 years she has led this country. Plus 2 years as Minister of Environment, plus 2 years as General Secretary of CDU, one of the two largest parties back then, plus 5 years as head of CDU.
Getting rid of their nuclear plants, increasing use of brown coal, and becoming more dependent of Russian natural gas is basically the opposite of climate goals.
Let's not forget skipping on ICE efficiency regulations because the industry would take care of that by itself.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.